Hello Internet, welcome to Techno Geeks Corner. Today's episode we're going to be diving into what APIs mean, or Application Programming Interfaces. So in today's world, we actually use APIs more than most people are actually aware. We use them every single day without even realizing it. But what exactly is an API? Well, there's many different types of API. There's, for example, the social kind, which if you've ever gone to a website and saw that login with Facebook, this is an example of an API. I'm going to go into detail later on in the episode. Now, another example of APIs that many people are aware that actually is an API are things like OpenGL, Vulkan, and DirectX. These are all graphics driver APIs. Once again, I'm going to go into detail explaining the many different kinds of APIs that we'll see. And without even knowing it, you're probably going to be watching this video on an API. Because I can guarantee you, at least based off the metric data, that a lot of you are watching this on your smartphone, which means that you're not using the YouTube web page, you're using an app that you downloaded off of your app store. And this also is a kind of API. So the gaming kinds of API are, of course, the things that we are all familiar with. DirectX, OpenGL, and of course Vulkan. Now, what these actually allow is a program to write code for graphics that are specifically made for not just specifically made for one type of build, but made for multiple different kinds of builds. And this goes far beyond just simply graphics. So for example, I could write a game for my AMD Threadripper 1900X, and it'll work perfectly fine on your system running a Intel i9, for example, 8700X I think it is. So with a video gaming API, basically this allows the programmer to write one line of code that will work for all different kinds of graphics builds and also motherboards, CPUs, memories, setups, and whatnot. This is one of the reasons why you don't need to have specifically that exact system setup that the designers originally had. APIs also have many different uses. Have you ever noticed that login with Facebook thing on the bottom of the screen, or the login with Google+? This is another example of APIs. Now what this basically does is it sends the information that is needed by the website to fill out the basic forms. And it does that through Facebook and also connects you access as well. This is also to protect the security servers that are holding your data, essentially. Now the thing is, we use APIs without even realizing. Like, we're watching this video on an API, and at least a good portion of you are watching this on an API, and probably not even realizing it. APIs have become a very commonplace in today's society. Things like your debit app that a lot of us end up logging into our bank accounts is another example of an API. But basically what an API ends up doing is adding a lot of security, a lot of benefits to many small devices that we take for granted pretty much every single day without even realizing it. Anyways, thank you very much for watching this video. If you like what you see, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to also click the bell icon. This will notify you of any future videos that do get posted on this channel. And just a heads up of a couple things that are coming. So I do have a game review playing Tegco, whom you're going to be seeing a lot more of. And that one is slated to come out by the end of the month. I do also have a review which hopefully will come out at the end of next month. And my other big plan is to have a new episode, actually a new segment I guess you could call it, the rise and fall of business. And this talks about tech companies that were once very big, very well known, and then kind of just vanished all of a sudden. The reasons why it ended up happening, and talking about the rise and fall. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section. I do read them, and at the same time I am looking out for future episodes that I can shoot for you guys. So if you have any sort of questions that I haven't already addressed, definitely shoot me a message about anything that you want. And I will definitely look into shooting an episode for you guys. Talk to you guys soon.